Today, we're going to show you a couple of examples of how you can use the new Bluemax Pay module for processing your payments. You can process payments in several different ways. You can do them through the sales order module, which we're going to show today. You'll be able to show an example of a payment transaction on a quote, on a sales order, and on an invoice. What we're going to show you first is how to process a payment from a quote. So we're going to go into a new quote. We're going to add a product. Have a test product here for this example. Put in your quantity. It'll give you your total with taxes if it applies. And then we're going to, right from the quote screen, which you can see we're in the quote screen, we're going to go straight into create payment. We have several payment options within our Bluemax Pay app that can also process not only transactions from a quote using Bluemax Pay, but other payment methods as well. We have several options here. We're going to use the credit card terminal. The credit card terminal appears here. We can select the credit card terminal we want to use. As you can see, the credit card transaction has been transmitted to the terminal for processing. So we will enter the card. The card will authorize and print the receipt. As you can see back from our terminal, you can see the payment transaction has been received back in Odoo, and it will be posted and recorded to this quote. At this point, we can see the payment transaction is here. If we need to see the detail of the payment transaction, we can click on that. As you can see, the details of the payment transaction are here. Now jumping ahead to the invoice, you can see the invoice has been completed and the payment automatically was applied from the quote straight to the invoice. So the next transaction we're going to show is basically the same thing. We're going to be able to do that from a confirmed order. So again, we go back into the to create a quote. Again, we're going to select our quantity. We're just going to put 1 here so you can see this is a different transaction. We are going to confirm this order. And as you saw before, we have a create payment option here, which will take us to the same screen. We can take a manual card for a phone order or a card not present transaction. And then we would complete the information with the customer's billing address information. We can manually enter the card number here, cardholder name, CCV, expiration, and year. So that is one option to do that. The other option is that we can make a transaction on a card that's been saved. So here's an example of how we would save a card to a customer's contact. This is a completely secure, tokenized card storage. We would go to the contact for the customer. We'd click on Save Card. We'd click Add a Card. We're going to click here and start the process by creating a token, which will be stored at the credit card processing center. In this name slot here, we should put the type of card it is. As an example with this one, it's an American Express, so we just say AE and then the last 4 digits of the card. After we've done that, it's going to be saved to the partner or the customer or the contact, and then we're going to generate a token. Once that's done, you'll complete the rest of the card information just like you would on a manual card. Once you've saved all the information, you'll click Token and then Save. Customers may have multiple cards they can attach to their account for recurring purchases. So now that we've done that and we've added the card to their account, we can go back to our sales order. We can go back to creating a payment, and we can click Save Card. So from here, once you select the card, you can then process the transaction. No other information is needed because that's all been saved in the contact. So as you'll see, it's fairly quick. That payment's immediately processed, and we can see that the payment has been made and it has been captured for this order. From this step, all we need to do is create the invoice from here. So we can create the invoice directly from the sales order with the payment and automatically post the payment to the invoice. The payment has been applied. There's no balance on this invoice. For the final option, we can actually make a payment directly from the invoice using register payment. So from here, we're going to hit confirm from our order or quote to create invoice. select that we're going to have a regular payment, confirm the invoice, and from there you can go and register payment. One of the other things we haven't covered in this video is the ability to be able to accept not only credit cards at a quote level, a sales order, or an invoice, but we've added the functionality to be able to take other types of payments, cash, check, credit cards, etc. These will also complete just like the Bluemax Pay credit card transactions. So we're going to continue and we're going to use the Bluemax Pay solution again. Our final example is processing a manually entered credit card. So we selected that from the pull-down menu, and it's completed much of the information already for us. The amount for the transaction, this pulls in the customer's address from the contacts. If it needs to be different for a billing address, you can change it and it will not affect contacts. We select our card type, enter the card number. Now, as you can see, the payment's been processed and applied towards the invoice. As we've seen, a payment can be processed from a quote, from a sales order, or an invoice, and they can be directly applied to the final invoice. With options in payment settings, a quote or a sales order can go straight to payment, eliminating several steps. So if you have any other questions or need some more information on it, just contact us at bluemaxpartners.com. You'll see the information down below. Thanks for watching.